probably what
You got to put the microphone on your mouth.
what microphones do.
Is it really? Is this how it works? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
See,
go.
you sound so much better with that shit up in your mouth.
I'm gonna. Okay, now I understand what kind of podcast is gonna be.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's-
We're
you,
gonna be
need,
getting
you want to
into it.
stretch it out and make it bigger?
No, not really.
You sure?
No, it's good. This is good size.
Just
We
tug
keep
on
it
it.
actually a little farther from my face. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
No.
Yeah.
Does it have to be close? No.
You got to be close.
Do you? All right.
Do you see
This is
how
a podcast. We're not
There we go.
live at Madison Square Garden or anything.
I'll lick it sometimes. I just get up on it. Just
My goodness.
Give it a little tasty
Ain't nothing
taste.
changed.
I hate.
Let me do. Let's do
Why,
this.
I
yeah.
don't understand. I'm so tired.
Of
called
traffic?
Tired of traffic. Yeah. You know what? Screw you and your school kids.
Yeah.
All y'all and your damn kids. I mean, at least mine are old and like one's in college, the other one's like in high school, away from anybody.
No, she's driving herself.
She's driving her, and it's in Leaper's Fork, so
Oh, yeah.
there's like nobody out there. It's not like I have to come from Brentwood to here, and I mean, you can't get anywhere anymore, man, with these kids and their school buses and. Hey, don't stop! You might hit them. You know,
Stop sign.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's so communist. Let's just do what everyone else is doing. Do they have that in Canada?
I don't know.
Do you have
We got a
buses?
lot of problems up there, so I don't
You have
know, man.
school. You have
We got
school.
Yeah, we do. We got school.
You got school.
Up
and
until
school.
like 10 years ago, they had 5 years of high school.
5 years. That sounds terrible.
Well, if you're an athlete, it's not.
Well,
Do you know what I mean? Because like, there's some kids who get scholarships. Like back in the day, like I played football. I don't know if people know that, but like I had a lot of scholarship offers to play football, and I would have gone in my first year of D1 college ball as a 20-year-old or no.
So you're going until 19 in
Yeah,
high school.
you have an extra
Wow.
year, so
Well,
the kids
that's-
get a little bigger.
I get it.
Now, that's not a bad thing, you know. I mean,
It's not.
That's
And,
so much
well,
school.
I see it now because I'm a Kentucky basketball fan. We've had quite a bit of the Canadian influence.
a lot, actually. A lot of them
Jamal
down.
Murray,
Yep.
for one, who is a huge all-star.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, so he was basically 35 years old when he came to Kentucky,
yeah, he
right?
might have been 32, but yeah,
Yeah.
he was a little older.
Okay, I
Wow.
got it. It's weird.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
most people don't know
fun.
that. They got rid of that though. They don't do that. I think it was like the British way of doing things, right? Because we're still part of the Commonwealth, and like they brought all their stuff.
Well, they had to let their teeth get right and stuff.
So yeah, so they need the extra.
I don't know.
extra couple of years.
I need that extra year of braces.
I dig that over there.
I feel like there's a high probability I'm getting canceled after this. 100%, dude. Like 100%.
Dude, there's no way. There's no way. If I haven't gotten in trouble
Oh,
yet,
man.
I've said so many things.
I've
So
been
many.
offered to be on podcasts before, and like I kind of volunteered for this one because I just saw you guys do this with Jason Blank. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've been offered podcasts, and I always turn it down because I just have a problem with my filter. Like, if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you how it is.
Well, we're filter free here.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck are you looking at right now
I know,
over
I
here?
know. I mean, I still
How
check my
long?
songs like on the radio and stuff, right? Every once in a while. So
How long have you known me and Colt? I mean, it's
Yeah.
How many
absolute
podcasts have you turned
ridiculous.
down?
probably 4 or 5.
Wow.
Yeah, some pretty good ones. Like some pretty. There was a couple big American ones actually, because we had this thing with the blinding lights. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah,
what's been
no,
going
that
on
was
with
really
this
cool.
Thing. So like that kind of opened it up because like for that week when this whole thing, or 2 weeks when that was going down on TikTok, like I was literally the most viewed thing on TikTok in the music business.
That's crazy, dude.
That week.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
got
I
a lot of attention on that one.
got lucky on that one.
Well, welcome to Twangtown.
Thank you.
I am David Tolliver.
And I'm Colt Mirsky.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a new
dude,
way.
that was a new level of
Thank you.
low.
I got lows and highs.
Yeah. And today we have with us Tebey.
Yes, sir. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have 4 sound effects.
Okay.
We're very proud of them.
Yeah, we use them periodically. That's not even a word.
Sporadically.
You just go by Tebey, right?
Yeah, Tebey.
You
It's
know,
always been
you know-
just the one name. And I'll tell you why.
You're
It's
like
all
Cher.
it's all James Otto's fault.
Is it?
Yeah, because back when I had a deal when I was on B&A Records, which was BMG at the time, label mates with Kenny Chesney and a couple other great people. My single was about to come out, and James Otto had
Oh,
literally
yeah, that's right.
just
What
come
a-
out.
I mean, what
Yeah.
a terrible thing for him to do.
Yeah, I mean, because that's weird. People don't know that I have the same last name as him. My last name's
Yeah.
Otto.
How dare him be born?
Yeah, the kid, the lion. He and his huge lion.
I mean, he's a
mane.
really big dude, so I let him have it.
Yeah.
You know,
Are
I
you
wasn't
guys
going to fight him
related?
for it.
You're
No,
definitely
not at all.
Are you from? Where you from in Canada?
Well, I'm from a place called Peterborough, which is probably like an hour east.
Did you
of
say Peterborough?
Peterborough?
From Peter, bro.
I think
Yeah.
my Peterborough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
About an hour and 20 minutes out of Toronto. Heading east.
Oh, so you're up there in Boots and Hearts area.
Real close.
Yeah.
real close. They actually, so Boots and Hearts, for those listening, I mean, it's one of the biggest country music festivals in North America. I mean, it's right up there every year with all the big ones, Faster Horses.
Just happened this past week.
Just did, yeah. And they have a competition. It's kind of like a discovery program where they pick 5 or 6 artists or 10 artists, and y'all get up and you perform, and there's judges and stuff. I think Mike Molinar was one of the judges.
Oh, cool.
The original judges, like back in the day. This is like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I won their first ever competition.
Nice.
So I'm kind of constantly, for the rest of my life, I'll be connected with Boots and Hearts, that festival, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Jenna was just up there and they did a Tennessee tourism thing up there. They set up a little Tennessee area, and they had their sound advice booth, which it's a booth that tells you, we put this thing on your head and you go in and you listen to sounds from around Tennessee, and it tells you where you need to go based on your brain waves. But the person that's in the booth with you is me.
Okay.
It's like my voice. I'm like, sit back, relax, and enjoy
go.
the sounds of Tennessee. And
Man, I just went to a weird place in my head just
sure
by you
did.
talking like that.
Yeah.
I literally just bought a ticket to Gatlinburg when you said that. Instantly. I just did it. You heard the phone.
Dude, I fucking love Toronto.
Yeah, it's a great city.
It's really cool. I mean, it's huge, but the people are so nice.
I can tell you've been there because you pronounced it correctly.
Toronto.
All the Americans say Toronto.
No.
Which is how it's spelled, so I understand that. But if
Yeah.
you're from there, you get rid of that T.
I
It's
got
Toronto.
you. I got you on this.
Yeah. I think the Raptors winning the NBA title helped us.
Yeah.
It just gave us a
little more exposure.
a
Yeah.
lot more eyes on Toronto and the correct Stephen A. Smith, maybe the correct
It's like
More
pronunciation.
opportunities to pronounce it right. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what you do up there. It's like all the women look like the girls from the John Wick movies. You know what I mean? They're tatted up. They're all gorgeous, and they're just like models. And I'm like, what is happening here?
Well, I mean, when a city's got 8 million people, you're gonna have a lot of different kinds.
Are there really that many people
There's
there?
a lot of people. It's bigger than Chicago. It is the fourth.
Whoa, I didn't
correct
know
me if
that.
I'm wrong. It is the fourth largest city in North America, behind L.A., Mexico City, New York,
Yeah.
and then Toronto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
a big
it's
city.
No idea.
big, dude. It takes you a while.
I always forget how big Mexico City is, too. It's giant.
huge.
Yeah. Buenos dias.
Yeah. Good morning to you.
So, so you grew up there.
I did, yep.
Did you play music growing up? And what was your first introduction to did you sing at an early age?
Yeah, I mean, church.
Of
Singing in
course.
church. I mean, pretty much every country artist grew up singing in church for the most part, and it was no different than me. My folks listened to everything. I mean, my dad was really interesting because my dad's from Nigeria in West Africa. Obviously, not a very popular place for country music. Not a hotbed.
And why is that?
Just because. Just because, geography.
Your dad didn't grow up on Merle Haggard?
No, he definitely didn't.
No?
But when he came to America, and then he went to Canada, he started to love country music. So I mean, that's where my mom was always a fan, but my dad was like, Charlie Pride, George Strait, Alan Jackson, people like that. So I heard that growing up, and that's kind of how I.
What took him to Canada?
Well, he went to the State University of New York first, SUNY, and he is an engineer, so he just got a scholarship to go out there.
Oh,
and then
nice.
he eventually
cool.
finished his degree up in Canada.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Badass. So started in church.
Yeah, grew up in church, singing in church, and moved here when I was 16.
You moved where?
Here,
To
Nashville.
Nashville?
Yeah.
That was
What happened in between those two times?
That's funny. I moved here when I was 16 too, but
Did you really?
not for the same reason you
This
did.
is not about you. Okay. It's about Tebey right now.
But Tebey and I, we're the same age. We're just
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm old now?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Fuck you, man.
It's okay.
I think I'm 3 years younger on Wikipedia, so let's just go with that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even update it myself.
I quit birthdays a couple years ago. I decided I don't want them anymore.
Just stop counting.
Dude, I can't do it anymore. Shit starts breaking after a certain age, and I won't say what that age is, but
It's definitely
it's
past 49.
It's definitely like I can't run too fast without warming up, or the hamstring says no.
you will lay down for 3 months. 'cause you
Man,
broke
I
me.
want to lay down right now.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear something funny? Guys, I was up in Canada a couple weeks ago. We every summer I'm usually playing festivals pretty heavy back home, touring in Canada. So I take my kids up there. You know, my kids are my son was born here. My son was born in Canada. Excuse me. My daughter was born here. But it's important for them to see where I'm from and to spend some time in that part of the world. So we go up every summer, and my son did a soccer camp. And at the end of the camp, they had a parents versus teachers.
Oh.
Man, I thought I was in because I've lost a little bit of weight recently, so I'm like, okay, like I feel like I'm in better shape. I can run. I got some cardio.
Yeah.
Dude, 10 minutes into it, I puked in the bathroom.
Yes.
That's how bad it was. Like, it was bad.
Right?
5 minutes in.
I just went too hard.
Dude.
Couldn't do it.
But we got that inside us. It's like, I'm not going to let this shit get me. And it gets you. But, I'm going to try. I'm trying my best.
Yeah. We did that with my daughter. She's 7 now. But last year when she was doing soccer, like the very last practice of the year, it's like parents get in there and it's like the parent and their kid versus other parents and kids.
This.
But dude, it's no joke.
No.
Like you're running and like, as a competitive guy, it's like, all right, I'm going all out. I'm going to show off for my kids. And then I didn't throw up, but I don't think I probably did like what you were doing. But I remember being like winded. My wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I'm running. I don't run."
You just don't want to admit that you're like out of shape and getting older, because I don't feel I'm 40. I don't feel 40. I really don't. And
Well, our brains don't feel that way.
yeah, well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did something. What? I don't know what I was saying. What?
Where am I?
No, man. My oldest plays college volleyball, and I hadn't seen her for a little bit, and she walked in the other day, and I'm like, "Good God, you're fit." And I'm like, I'm not anymore, but I've trying to get back into it, for the past few months. I'm like, I looked at myself one day and I'm like, this is not good from the side of the mirror getting in the shower,
Well, they say that as you get older, your body will respond better to weightlifting than cardio.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Which is great for me because my cardio has always been garbage.
Yeah.
So I can get behind doing the weights.
Well, you get the muscle, and the more you lift, the stronger your bones get too. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So you need to do that. You probably should get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Probably should do so.
Yeah.
But you did you do music up there until you moved here?
Yeah, I mean, I did. Just typical things that a young singer-songwriter would do. You play your local peach market on a Sunday or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just something like that, or a county fair.
Did you say peach market?
I don't know. I'm just thinking. Like
Do you grow a lot of peaches up there? In
No, we
Canada?
don't. But I had this memory of playing at like a fruit stand or something. So that just popped in. It probably wasn't peaches. It was probably like
Definitely apples.
apples or oranges. I don't know.
It's like syrup.
Do we grow things in Canada? It's too cold.
I don't think.
even
I think
we
you
do.
grow like moose
Yeah,
and niceness.
syrup's a fruit.
Yeah, I think I was actually singing in front of imported Georgia peaches, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what
There
it
it
is.
is.
Yeah.
So you moved here when you were 16.
I did,
How'd
yeah.
that happen and why?
When I was like 12 or 13, I think I was 13 years old. There was a singing competition up there in Ontario, and I won the competition for my age group. And as part of the prize was I got to go in and get some studio time and record some demos. And this was like back in the day where like still people were kind of sending stuff in the mail to A&R people. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
sure.
like I'm going to try to track down this person's email and send. Like I literally put CDs in an envelope and mailed them out to just every A&R person or head of label that I could find online.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, this woman named Rhonda Johnston, who worked at MCA Records, was the executive assistant to a guy named Bruce Hinton, who was the CEO of MCA.
Wow.
Nice.
It was him and then Tony Brown. And she opened it up and she actually listened to it. And she thought it was good.
Nice.
And she played it for him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
doesn't happen.
No,
Not
it
very
doesn't.
often.
Usually
No.
that shit goes right in. If it's unsolicited, it'll just goes right in the trash.
Exactly, 100%. So someone was looking down on me that day for sure, but she listened to it, played it for Bruce, and he called Tony into his office and played it for Tony. And next thing you know, I get a phone call out of the blue. I think I'm 13 or 14 at the time.
What?
And
13, 14 years old?
I mean, and they flew me to Nashville. They flew me here, and I went in and played for them. And I was signed
That
to a
just doesn't
development
happen
deal.
anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I
Nobody in
barely found
Nashville's-
my wiener at 13 and 14 years old, you know?
You found it at 6. But nobody's here in Nashville's flying anybody in
No.
that I've ever heard of. It's usually people are coming here.
Well,
but,
now they're just so lazy, they won't do anything.
yeah, it's like,
Well,
what's
they
your
don't
social
have to,
media
that's
look
the
like?
thing.
Yeah, what's your TikTok look like?
Yeah, how many followers you got? The labels
Yeah.
don't really have to do much.
No.
They just need to keep their eye on the internet. But it was just a different time back then.
Yeah.
And
not that it's just a different way of doing it now.
Sure.
And all you label people that aren't listening to me right now understand what I'm saying. It's not that you're terribly lazy. You're really lazy. However, you just you don't have to do anything anymore. You don't fly out to showcases.
No.
You're not flying to Lexington, Kentucky to see Montgomery Gentry play in a small bar. You're not doing it anymore. I don't even hear of showcases around town anymore.
Do they do those?
Do they do them anymore?
Not as many as there used to be.
Because I mean, back in the
Emails every
day
now and
when
then,
I was doing it, when you were doing it, there was a showcase every other day.
Oh, I remember going and watching John Party, Jason Aldean, like all these guys playing for their record deals. I remember being there watching these guys in the bar.
Yeah. I saw Brantley Gilbert. I was at Exit In the night he was offered his deal by Borchetta.
Yeah.
Eli Young, no.
Love
Eli
his
Young
cheese.
Band was there, but
Eli was there. Eli Young was band there.
I saw them play there, but they didn't offer their deal.
I thought you meant they were at the Brantley Gilbert show.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else.
Was it Exit In?
Yeah.
It's gone, isn't it?
It's back.
Really?
It's like Tavern.
It's gone
and then
away
it's back.
and back like 4 times in the past 4 years. It's like, it's closed down. Everybody's sad. Oh, somebody open it back up.
Yeah.
It should stay. It should be like that place should be saved by like the Nashville.
It's like the only last like rock venue in Nashville that I know of.
It's like 12th and Porter's gone. You know,
Yeah,
Third and Lindsley's still there. I mean, I love Third and Lindsley. That's where we got signed out of. It wasn't quite the same place. You know, it wasn't as big as it is now. No. It was basically a L-shaped corner stage.
Yep.
And you barely got in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you came here 16, like moved here.
I did, yeah.
Well, how did the first thing go with when you were 13, 14 years old?
It went fine. I mean, it was a development deal. Like you remember back where they had these, like, it wasn't like a full on record deal, but you were still like on the label, and they wanted you to write songs with people and just to see how if you were going to be
dating.
Basically. I mean, because you're young. I mean, 13, 14 years old. You don't know yourself, nor do you know anything else at that point in your life.
You're not Billy Gilman at this point.
That's exactly.
Well, I mean, they actually had a girl over there, and they'd been going through it with her. Her name was Alicia something. I can't remember what her name, but she was signed and she was 16 or 17. And that was the youngest artist they had. And I just, they wanted to make sure that I was ready for it, that I really wanted it.
Are you ready for it?
I mean, I'm still here, still in town. So I guess I did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other things we could do for a living, but
yeah, I've done those. They suck.
Yeah. I've watched people do them. They definitely suck.
It's awful. Real jobs are terrible.
Yeah.
They're not, because we need stuff to make the world go round.
Of course.
I thought about that last night watching something. I was like, I don't know how to do anything other than this. And I don't know how I can like make a tomato grow a little bit, but like I can hunt a little bit, but I don't know how to make anything else.
There's no like professional hunters, are there? Because there's professional fishers.
No, there's professional hunters.
Fishermen.
Yeah, fisher people.
Yeah, there's
fisher
definitely
folk.
guys who are heavily
professional
sponsored
hunters.
and
As hunters?
Yeah.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they going on like safaris to Africa and like shooting rhinos, or we're talking like deer?
Or Oklahoma.
Well, there's like elk hunting and bear hunting and
Okay.
usually like the real big game stuff. There's definitely guys who are
Don't
real
ever
pro at
say
that.
it like that again. Bear hunting and elk hunting.
Well, I was thinking
These are a few of my favorite things.
you'd be nice.
I'm sorry. I'm not what? No, you said it. I can't help it.
They're them elk hunters and them big old grizzly
Oh,
bear
elk hunters. Yes. Okay.
There
I
are,
got you.
but it's like I couldn't go out and just kill a cow. I love meat. I love beef.
But if you want that beef, you got to kill that cow.
We'll get that cow.
They don't run very fast. So,
But yeah, real jobs. Anyway, so you moved here when you were 16.
I did. Yeah.
Where did you live? You remember?
I
where you
lived
moved?
in Bellevue.
Ooh.
Yeah, my dad had to come with me because my dad, I wasn't old enough. I was only 16 years old, right? So he quit his job and moved to Nashville with me, and my mom stayed back home in Canada with my siblings.
Yeah. Well, that's
Pretty wild.
So what were your days like here when you first moved here when you were 16?
Man, wake up, go and write or learn how to write songs, I guess you would say at that point in my life, and do a lot of meetings. And that lasted about 2.5 years of doing that, and I guess the initial period that I had signed for had come up, and I didn't have a manager at the time, but I don't know how I got in front of some of these other people, but I remember going over and singing for like James Stroud at DreamWorks
Oh yeah.
at the time, and Renee Bell and Joe Galani, who were running RCA or BMG.
Old Joe.
Yeah, legends.
Yes.
Legends of the game. And there ended up being what we call back in the day a bidding war.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where there was those 3 labels all offered me a deal, and I ended up going with BMG.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was 16.
Wow.
And then what?
It all went to shit. Oh man. No, it took a few years before that happened, but made a record with Byron Gallimore.
Nice.
Sounds very familiar.
Yep, you've done that, and Bob Rock.
Bob
Rock was the other person.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
It was the first ever country record that he ever did, and it was because I was signed to a guy named Bruce Allen was managing me. Bruce has Bryan Adams and Michael Bublé. And,
I remember his name.
Yeah, he's Martina. Yeah, that was the connection to BMG. He managed Martina McBride for many, many years.
Yeah.
Bob was brought in to do a couple sides, and the rest were done by Byron Gallimore.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bob, Byron, Missy.
Missy.
Let's go to the grill.
So how old were you when you were recording that?
18.
Okay.
18 and 19, and I think the first single came out when I was just turned 20.
What is this time frame? What is it? Early 2000s? Middle 2000s?
Yeah, this is early 2000s. This is probably 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Shit, man.
Time flies.
That is bananas.
Yep.
Wow. I don't remember when I met you. I think you were... We wrote at BMG for some reason. Were you at BMG for a minute?
Maybe. I mean, I was running around with like John Rich and like Big Kenny and those guys. They were kind of my clique when I was first coming up in the business. So just through them, I just met so many people.
Yeah.
Did you ever do any of the Music Mafia shows back in the day?
Yeah, not a lot. A few.
Went to a lot of those when I was in college and interning and all that.
It was a good time. It was a really good time for Nashville. I mean, what those guys were doing was so inventive and innovative at the time.
Yeah, it's like what Whiskey Jam is now, but
basically
they kind of like paved the road for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember it was it was a circus. But it was awesome.
Oh yeah,
and it was the thing to go to. You're very right. It was like a Whiskey Jam. I remember going and seeing him at Tin Roof, and I remember getting in. It was me and Keith Anderson and John and Kenny were recording as Starstruck with their first album. And then we left. Me and John and Keith went riding around in John's Tahoe or whatever it was. And they started playing me songs. He played me like Save a Horse, and I'm like, bro, I dig this, but how is radio gonna play this?
Well, they didn't really. It wasn't even a top 20 single.
Yeah,
did it not go top 20?
I'm not sure, but I think it died around 20.
Wow! But I remember when it first came out, everybody was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, are they going to play this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, they'll play it." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
just big Kenny off the top. It was classic.
It's definitely. But that time, I remember that time.
Yeah.
in this town, and it was some of my favorite times.
It was a good time
of this whole career.
I agree.
The Tin Roof was brand new, and we were just not just because of the Tin Roof, but the people, the relationships, man.
Yeah,
the relationships that you built then are still with you today, and it's evident in this room, obviously.
Yeah. I couldn't even get in. I got to figure out how to turn this thing off, but I couldn't even get in because I wasn't 21. So they had to, John Rich would just sneak me in.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd walk in behind Troy, and Troy's really big, right? So they didn't.
Yeah.
I would just kind of scurry in behind Cowboy Troy there a little bit.
John gave no Fs.
No. He still doesn't.
No.
I was going to say, I don't think it's changed.
No, it hasn't
I don't think his
changed
ideology has changed whatsoever.
No.
So you had that little time
that
it went to shit.
Yeah.
What?
Man, we only released one single, and looking back, I understand why it didn't work. I truly believe, and I say this with the most respect possible to anybody listening, but I feel like I was a little bit ahead of my time, just being a half black kid, singing country music, and there were still some folks that weren't ready for that, and that's it is what it is.
I don't disagree with that at all, man. It wasn't for lack of your talent. That's for damn sure.
Well, I mean, there's so many X factors in anyone's career. Reasons why it works or why it doesn't. Yeah. So I try, as I get older, I don't look back and feel upset about it. I just think that it brought me to where I'm at today, and there was a reason why it happened. And Had I had success early on in that record deal, I never would have moved back to Canada for those couple of years where I met my wife. So I look at it like that.
Yeah.
So there's so many things in my life today that wouldn't have happened had I had success with that first record deal.
Talk about that, man. When did you go back up there?
Well, after I lost my record deal, I remember getting a call from my manager, and he just said that they're not going to move forward with another single, and gave me the whole spiel. And it was weird. I felt okay about it at the time. It's not like I went into panic mode. I mean, I was 20 or 21 years old. And again, when you're that young, the world is your oyster.
Yep.
And I just figured that it would all work out in the end. I'd done a publishing deal and a record deal, so I had a little bit of money, I mean, a couple, $100,000 when you're that, that old, that seems
rich.
like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be good for 5 or 10 years with this.
Especially back then.
Yeah, exactly. But, it just didn't work out. And I ended up moving back to Canada just to try to figure out my life. I met my wife, and
did you back to the Toronto area?
Yeah, back to the Toronto area. I started writing songs for like Canadian Idol.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah, stuff like that. Because I just had a connection over at the label and at Sony Music or BMG Canada at the time. And so I ended up writing songs for that show and the winners. And meanwhile, I was still making trips down to Nashville, and I was writing with John Rich and Kenny. And I remember getting a call. This is probably like early 2000s, about a year and a half after I lost my record deal. I got a call from John Rich. And he's like, hey, man, when are you coming back to town? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, maybe a couple months. And he's like, well, we're going to cut this song that we wrote. And I want you to come in and sing some background vocals on it. And that ended up getting me a new publishing deal.
Oh, nice.
With a company called Olay at the time, which is a Canadian-owned company, but they have an office here.
Yeah.
And have had some success. They're now called Anthem.
Yep.
And that got me a new publishing deal, and that's what brought me back to Nashville when I was 24 or 25.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice.
I think I remember you were the Olay. I think we wrote
Maybe.
at that time. Pretty sure. I can't remember. All those years run together.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
It's ridiculous. So from then, what's been going on now since when you moved back here and you were like, you've been here for
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 15 years for sure.
Oh shit.
If not more. Basically just the same as everybody else, just trying to keep publishing deals and getting cuts. And, I wasn't having a lot of success in Nashville getting songs placed other than like the Big and Rich thing. And there's a couple other smaller cuts. So I just started to realize that a lot of pop music was being written in Sweden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of when Max Martin was starting to take over, and he was doing NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears, and all that was being done in Sweden. And I listened to all different kinds of music. I mean, I grew up listening to everything. So I had this ability to not only write country music, but I could legitimately write pop songs where, some people can't do both.
Sure.
It's very hard. And for whatever reason, I was able to do it. So I started going to Sweden. Just went over there. I met some folks at a songwriting camp, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come over in a couple months, and just networked and started having some success in the pop market, writing songs for people, not as an artist. I kind of put the artist thing on the back burner because I was writing songs, and I think 2012 is when it started to really happen for me as a writer, because I got 2 songs recorded by a band called One Direction.
Yeah.
And that changed everything.
Yeah. That's it probably.
Yeah,
it would
did.
a little bit.
It's kind of funny, people that wouldn't write with you before or wouldn't hook you up before in sessions and stuff. I mean, when you get something that big, because at the time they were the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
So when you got a couple songs on someone like that, the doors really opened up.
Yeah, no shit.
So I got to write with more people. Yeah, that was a good one. And they sold a ton of records. This is back in the day, like when they actually
sold records.
Yeah. I mean, how was it going over there to Sweden and writing with those guys or those girls, whatever it was?
Yeah.
Is it just a different style than what we have here?
I mean, yeah, it was just. But this was like back before we had what we call track guys here, right? Where there was a producer in the room.
So that came basically.
No, but they were doing that over there. Yeah,
okay.
You were in the room with a producer, and they were building the track, and that's just the way it's always been done in the pop world.
Yeah,
but that thing kind of has only come to Nashville in the past 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a different process. But I was so young, and I was still learning how to write.
Yeah.
So just getting in the rooms was the hardest part. And then things just kind of took off in that world where I was doing really well writing pop songs and having success. And that eventually just kind of made things here a little bit easier.
Yeah, doors open a little
for a minute. You know how it is. You're hot one minute, and then you're not.
Yeah, dude. Tell me about it.
It's just a big wave, man. Everybody's seen it. Everybody who's been in this town has seen it one time or the other. If you had any little bit of success, it's like, oh, hey, man, we really like you for now.
Yeah.
And then,
until we don't.
Something shiny comes along and
that's it.
Yeah, squirrel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So after the One Direction stuff.
Yeah, just more pop stuff snowballed, and was doing, stuff like FLO-RIDA and Cher of all people.
We read this earlier.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
just
how
random.
did I know about this?
I would just go on these trips. I would go to Sweden, and I focused on that for a while, for a couple of years.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I mean, not as much as I'm going to Sweden next week.
And when can I go with you?
Anytime, man.
Okay.
It's awesome. It's great.
I'm dead serious about this.
In the summer, though, don't go in the winter because it's 20 hours of darkness. It's horrible.
No,
I'm horrible.
I'm depressed anyway.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But in the summer, it's great.
Yeah, does Curb pay for that?
Yes,
that's something that I could go do.
Of course,
I'm dead serious, man. I want to go to Europe and experience that at least once in my lifetime.
Because if you get one, I mean, the thing about pop music is that it's so much more international than country. Yeah. So I mean, you can have hit records just in the UK.
Is that not weird though? It's so odd. That's what we don't, as a music business here, we don't understand. Like even in Australia, where country music is pretty good. I was over there last year, a couple years ago, and I'm talking to these people. And I'm like, my buddy Lee Brice, and they're like, who? I'm like, Lee Brice, huge country artist. They're like, yeah, we really don't know who that is.
I feel like Canada's like that to a certain degree. I mean, our geography is obviously we're a lot closer, so people, kind of bleeds together. But I mean, there's artists in Canada that are legitimate arena artists that are making a couple $1 million a year that people here have never heard of in their life. I'm talking country music, so like in this town.
Yeah.
Dallas Smith, people like that, Dean Brody, like those guys are superstars.
Yeah, Megan Patrick is like
Megan Patrick's killing
like the Miranda
it too.
Lambert of.
Yeah, I mean, these people are big stars back home. I mean, Megan's doing real well here, as well, but. Yeah, it's kind of like you're right, but I mean, back to the whole pop thing. I mean, you can have a hit record in the UK as a songwriter, or France, or Germany, and still make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, just like you would if you had a hit record here in the States.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah,
and back in the day, people didn't realize that. I don't think the publishers even really understood that. It was just like UK.
It's
whatever.
A bit narrow.
It was. I mean, it's broadened now, of course. I think it's with the internet, honestly.
Yeah,
sure.
But back in the day, the people. I mean, my publisher at the time, they didn't want to send me over there.
Yeah,
they fought. I mean, I would stay in hostels, guys.
Wow.
Yeah,
like that's how dedicated I was, because they would bitch. They're like $3,000 to go to Sweden. It's like, what the hell are you going to Sweden for?
To make $3 million.
Well, when you come back with 2 One Direction cuts and that album sold 10 million copies, they were pretty happy.
Tebey, you're so smart.
See, I can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
And the whole like K-pop phenomenon is
same thing.
There's so many people here who write for K-pop now that you wouldn't even know. But if you get a big K-pop cut, it's like, whoa.
It's bananas,
you can make some good money. Yeah,
it's absolutely bananas.
I think it's great because people have the opportunity now to write in different genres of music. They have the opportunity to travel, and it's a lot easier to go and work with artists or writers or producers in different territories. And a lot of really cool things can come from that, because the way that people in Sweden or France or England write melodies or construct songs it's very different than the way we do it here typically. And if you can find that right mesh of people where you can bring those two worlds together, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but like the Rascal Flatts, What Hurts the Most, I believe was written by Jeffrey Steele.
Yep.
And there's another songwriter, we'll have to look it up, but he's in England. He's had a few of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
A few big country records. Steve McEwen's another one.
Yeah.
So when you put the right people together from two different genres, you can get some pretty big records.
Yeah. The melodies in that song are just absolutely ridiculous.
Insane, yeah.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, but, like the rock sets and the Ace of Base and those guys, it's just the flowing melodies and everything. It's just so cool. So I definitely need to go to Sweden. England, the UK.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea for me.
I do too.
Yeah,
the Swedes, their English is really high. They're high level of English.
Yeah,
and that's why Sweden does so well.
Yeah,
because they speak really, really good.
Perfect. They would definitely understand me.
Yeah,
because
I would love to see you in Sweden. interacting with the Swedes.
We'll send a camera crew, man, because that could be some gold right there.
You definitely got to document that trip.
That would be great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So, you're back here, and you've got some country stuff.
I have, yeah.
You had some shit that went #1 and stuff. And
I did, yeah. I mean, it's
awesome.
It's been a fight, though. You know, I mean, I feel like it is for everybody. So I'm not talking out of turn, but I mean, it's been a grind. You know, back in I think it was 2018 or 19, I had a #1 with Justin Moore.
Yeah.
Called Somebody Else Will.
Yeah.
And that was cool. That again, it's like one of those things where you're kind of hot for a second and then you slow down and then you get another hit and then people are willing to work with you again and then it slows down, you know. So, I mean, not all of us can be consistent like an Ashley Gorley, right? It's hard.
Yeah, you think you get that #1, you're like, all right, these doors are permanently open, but it's like they start closing as soon as that #1 party ends.
You never stop working here. And it's just, I think there's different waves that come in every little bit. And I think some people like Ashley and Craig Wiseman and some of those guys have ridden the waves and have found a way to ride the waves. And then there's other people that, you know, it's like I always say that Joe Nichols he'll have a hit like every 5 years. He'll go and see a shadow and have another hit. Or
he just had one last year, didn't he? That was like his first radio hit in like 5 years, and you're right there.
It's like he'll go in hibernation for like 3 or 4 years and then come and have #1. Like, but that's the thing, though, and it's like, I mean,
he's taking over the Steve Holy spot.
Steve,
it's time.
Wow, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. Steve Holy used to be the same way. It was like he would go away for 5 years and then come back and have #1. Like, how do these guys do that?
I thought I was going to have a hit on Joe Nichols because he recorded a song of mine on this last record, and it's a duet. And I didn't know. I mean, we wrote the song kind of as a duet, and the demo was sung like that. And Joe cut it, and no one would tell me nothing. I'm like, who is he going to have someone sing on this song? Or is he just going to do it himself? And I can't remember who I messaged. It might have been one of the producers. And he's like, don't tell anybody, but it's Blake Shelton. And I'm like,
yes.
I'm getting a single.
Yeah.
I am getting a single.
Yeah.
Did not get the single. I mean, you'd think if they put Blake on it, you're going to, it didn't happen.
Blake and Joe would sound good on the radio.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Both interesting looking guys.
Yeah.
Brown head, tall.
Yeah.
Should have worked out, man.
One's really funny. I don't know if Joe's funny or not.
I don't know.
He's a great singer.
Yeah, hell of a singer.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard Joe talk. I've done shows with him. I don't think I've ever heard him talk. I think wheel him out on stage.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. He's fine. So what do you got going on right now that you're excited about?
What am I excited about?
Besides going to Sweden with me or the UK with me.
Just, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Have you had the Swedish meatballs?
I love balls.
Yeah, okay.
Meatballs.
It's good, yeah?
I want to start a truck called Dave's Ball, but Meats Balls. Yeah. That's so stupid.
Meats balls.
I should have kept that in my inside voice.
Yeah.
They have them at IKEA. I don't know if you've been to Atlanta and gone to the IKEA, but
I've never been in an IKEA.
Really?
Yeah.
I never have. I would love to learn where the IKEA came from, though.
Sweden.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I would love to go over there and see like the first IKEA.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure there's a museum.
Do they call it IKEA over there?
I don't know how they pronounce it. I'm sure they pronounce it some other way, but yeah.
I would love to eat their balls.
What is the Swedish food scene like?
Yeah.
A lot of Swedish meatballs.
Just like that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like tea and crumpets, but tea and meatballs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say other than that they really have their own staple. I mean, there's a lot of like meat and potatoes type of thing.
It's cold up there.
It's cold. They can't really grow a ton of shit.
Yeah,
it's dark in the
fish.
a lot of fish.
A lot of fish, pickled herring and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I'm not gonna eat the pickled herring.
No, I've tried. That's not good.
Yeah.
Is that lutefisk? Lutefisk?
Is that Ludacris's fish company?
Ludacris's fish company.
I think that's what Kyle.
It's called Lutefisk.
You know, Kyle being from Minnesota, he's like, yeah, you ever had lutefisk? And I'm like, no, what is that? Some
It
kind of like
sounds
weird
right.
pickled fish.
It sounds right.
But if you say it with a Swiss accent, lutefisk or Swedish accent, lutefisk.
Jenna's family's from Rockford, Illinois, and every Christmas they'll have a little spread of like stuff, and it's like, you know, cheeses and meats and like a charcuterie and all that shit. And then her dad has this pickled herring in a jar.
God, that just sounds so not
gross.
appetizing.
And, bro, he's like, you got. I'm like,
is he
I'm not
European?
eating it. Huh?
Is he
no,
it's a European
they're
thing.
Italian.
Man. I didn't. Yeah,
they're Italian, which makes no fucking sense.
No.
You know, it's not like olives and fresh oils. It's like no,
it's not good.
But he's the only one that eats it, really. So
it's weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Where's your favorite place to eat here in the Nashville?
Ooh, man, there's an
Yeah.
amazing sushi place in it's kind of Germantown, kind of. It's called Oku.
Oku.
Have you heard about this
It's like
place?
the ramen
Is that
place?
new?
It's probably 2 or 3 years old, but
Okay.
it's nice. It feels very LA. Like it's like one of the places I feel like I went to in LA. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they got really, really good sushi.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah.
We haven't heard that one before.
Do you ever go to LA to write?
Not anymore.
You did back in the day?
Back in the day, I would. Yeah, I would do a lot out there. I don't love LA. So I just don't.
I'm with you.
I like it here.
I've had a lot of friends out there, a lot of friends that come here and that live out there, but it's just, I can't do it.
It's not for me.
No.
I'm not feeling it. I mean, the weather's great, but just everything else that goes along with it, I'm not feeling it.
No, not in.
It's hard to, I mean, you can't get from one side to the other in less than 3 hours.
It's ridiculous.
That's exciting.
It's not going to happen.
I want to go from Santa Monica to Burbank. Well, you better pack a lunch.
Yeah, but like sessions, like literally, like they don't have a music row. They don't have a condensed area where all the studios are in. Yeah. So literally, you could have a session in Santa Monica, and then the next day, or your second session of the day at night could be in Burbank.
Yeah,
or on the other side of the hills. So.
And you're hours away.
Yeah,
you're 15 miles and hours away.
Yeah, so it's not.
I drove out there. We went out and I did a charity show up in Santa Maria, up northern, above, not Northern California, but above LA. But we flew into LA, rented a car, and drove up the PCH, which was really cool. It was cool to go through Malibu, Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Stop and saw one of my buddies out there, Ben Margulies, who did a bunch of the Mariah Carey stuff early on. He lives in Montecito in Santa Barbara. Of course, it's just gorgeous area.
I mean, it's nice. It's a nice place.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. We went around looking for Oprah, her compound.
Nice.
It's right there in Montecito in Santa Barbara. Jenna was like Googling it. And I'm like, is that it? I think that's her tennis court, But it is. It's just like, it's so just compact and, I don't know. I don't know about it. Well, we go to Ichi over here for sushi. You should try it.
Where's this?
Ichigo Ichi.
It's called Ichigo Ichi.
Yeah.
And is it in near Music Row? Or?
Yeah, it's basically down at the end, away from Winners and Losers, all the way down the end under that hotel.
Okay.
Whatever that hotel is.
Virgin?
No, it's the other one. It's
like if you're going down
Division? I know what you're talking about.
to
Yeah.
the 21st.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right before that Starbucks and all that stuff on the 21st there. It's really good, though. I can never remember that hotel.
I can't either.
It's like,
You walk by it every time.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a good spot, especially at lunchtime. There's not a lot of people there at lunch. So you can kind of just walk in, sit down, get some really, really good sushi.
We eat like Vikings. Vikings
Swedish Vikings.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Those damn Vikings up there. They didn't have horns on their helmets, right?
Why?
Is
that not true?
Is that a
not
myth?
true.
Really?
It's a myth. They didn't have horns on their helmets.
What did they have?
Helmets.
Just straight up helmets.
Yeah, we just bastardized them and made them have horns.
We just made them cooler.
We did not.
Wouldn't you want a helmet with horns on
Minnesota's
it?
they're liars. The Vikings are a bunch of liars. And I don't know if they blew a horn.
How does the horn go?
Yeah.
Sounds like a goat.
Oh, shit. Where can people find you on your social stuff?
Tebey Music, Tebey
Tebey Music.
EY.
Motherfucker.
My name, it's not spelled like it's pronounced at all. I don't know what my parents were thinking. I don't know how the hell I got a record deal with a name like that. Like, honestly, man, like,
Can we just call you Todd?
seriously, half black kid with a weird name. Come on, I'm already like, I got 2 strikes out
Strike
the gate.
1 and 2.
Out the gate, 2 strikes.
Is there like a meaning behind
Yeah,
Tebey?
there's 3. What was that?
Is there a meaning behind Tebey?
Yeah, in my dad's native language in Nigeria, it means "let them say,"
Oh.
which is actually kind of interesting.
That's pretty cool.
When you think about what I do, right? Because people are, having opinions about music, and it makes sense.
I like it.
That's cool. What's your name mean?
Horse. Young horse.
Young horse.
In American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's beloved. David. I killed a giant. I don't know if you've heard. Smooth stone through a slingshot.
You're kind of a big deal.
Fuck you, Goliath,
King David.
King David, yeah. I took my friend's wife. And,
Bathsheba.
yeah. Man after God's own heart, though, dude. What's up?
You really are like King David.
I'm not. I am such a different person than I was years ago. I've mellowed out. I'm just easy like Sunday morning now.
Nice.
And this voice.
I love it.
It's just amazing, right?
It's the best.
Come on. Hey.
Yeah.
Have you ever
No.
in your life spun a wheel of shame? Shame.
A wheel of shame.
Wheel of shame.
No, I
There's
have not.
no shame
but
in
this,
it, honestly. So
I see it right there.
You're going to go up and you're going to finger that wheel.
Okay.
And you're
Fast
gonna
or slow?
Spin, huh?
However you prefer.
Oh.
However you like it, Tebey.
You know, 'cause you spin it too fast.
It
then
was your reaction after
Yeah.
that got me. Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
So I got to
man.
spin this wheel.
Spin that wheel.
All right, hold on a second.
Okay. Yeah. I'm spin the
It's
wheel.
going. It's going.
Go round and round. I'm spin
going.
the wheel. Round and round. And spin the wheel. And then
Go over
round
it up
and
some
round.
cool music
I'm
or something,
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, we need
Oh, it's
some type
stopping.
of theme song.
It's on.
It's on.
Never have I ever.
No. Wow. This is a new. I don't even
if
have.
we've ever had this one.
I don't think we've ever had this.
You want me
one.
to spin again?
Nah, man. Nah. These just get us to the good stuff.
Okay.
Where's the
Pick your card, any card, don't look at it.
Where's the jar?
I'm not going to look at it. There we go.
Where's the jar of shame? Jar of shame. We're gonna call it the jar of shame. Yeah. Jason Blaine did all this too.
Did he do it to you? Cool.
He's such an excitable young man. He
cried.
Blaine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known him for years.
You introduced. I think you introduced me to him because
cool.
we wrote together. Us three wrote together.
Okay.
Jason didn't remember writing with me ever. I had to meet him 3 times before he remembered me.
I mean, I think you're memorable. But
I damn think I am too.
yeah.
It's also because everyone thinks you're Lee Bryce.
Fuck, man.
Not the Australians, apparently.
Yeah. I told him I was Lee Bryce. Like,
And they're like, oh, great. We love your music.
how about that kangaroo woman? Did you watch the breakdancing?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, bless her heart.
That was incredible.
Right,
Yes.
she expressed herself.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to her for just not giving a shit.
She couldn't
Like
care less.
that takes big balls to go out there and just not give a shit and know that you're not as good as everyone else.
and you're probably going to get ridiculed for the rest of your life. But she is. I saw it the other day. There's 2 people, actually 3 people that we remember from the Olympics. It was the old dude that didn't use any shooting shit and got silver.
The Turkish guy.
The Turkish
Yeah.
guy.
Oh yeah, what happened with him?
No,
He was-
everybody's like, he's a sniper. He's the only
He's-
guy out there
Like
not
everybody else
using a
has got, like,
brace
vision
or any of the weird
things.
He
glasses.
was just with his naked
just-
eye.
like he
naked
wears,
eye,
he
just
wears
shoot.
eyeglasses just like a normal person, and he just stood there, just
Seriously.
and he got
And
silver.
got silver.
Wow.
And then
and everybody else has got on those bionic glasses and
and
shit.
they're like the gun's weighted, and if the feather falls on it, they can't shoot right or something. And then there was the ray gun, the Australian breakdancer.
Yep.
And then the pole vaulter.
yeah,
What happened to him?
When
Or her.
his
when
dick-
his penis made the pole fall off
Yeah.
the thing.
he
He cleared it like if this was the pole, and his penis just went.
No way.
And he knocked
Are
the
you
pole
serious?
off.
yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
My man was proud.
If you've ever been on Instagram, it's all over it.
Yeah.
I try to stay off Instagram as much as possible.
Just Google Paul Volter's penis.
I don't think I want that in my search history, man.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah.
Yeah, the best meme for the breakdancer was when you've lied on your application and still get the job.
When she hopped around like a kangaroo, dude, I lost my shit.
No, but let me ask you this though: when she's going into the Olympics, does she think that she can compete? Like in her mind, is she's like, I'm as good as these people? That's what I want to know.
Well, she's a smart person. She has like a PhD
Yeah.
in a bunch of some
Does she
stuff.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
she does, yeah.
She for some reason did this. She's got background in dance.
Well, she's probably the only
classical.
person who like tried out in Australia, right?
She-
But that's another thing. It's like, how does Australia's got like 25 million people? They got enough. They got a few people.
Yeah.
How is there nobody else?
I don't know.
And that's not taking anything away from her. I'm just curious.
Did they
Yeah.
do this as the thing? Did
Well, I think this was like a trial run for this competition.
it's not coming back.
Yeah.
It's not.
This was the first time they've ever had it.
Yeah.
Like I
And
don't think it really
the
counted
last
like as an
time.
official event. They're like, hey, here let's test run this and see what happens. And
Yeah.
then like she did that.
So
And,
cue the conspiracy theories about how they put this girl in there
yeah.
to
Yeah.
get publicity
Yeah.
for the sport.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, but she brought a lot of attention to it. Maybe
She
they will,
sure did.
Maybe they will bring it.
You're
back.
going to remember that. You
I mean,
remember
it's
her?
going to be in L.A. next time. So
It is.
They
yeah.
already said no.
It's a hotbed. Well,
They said they're not going to do it. No,
Yeah, they said no.
We got 4 more years to figure it out.
They're not going to do it.
Someone will come along with enough money to make it worthwhile for
Yeah.
Right.
whoever needs to sign off on that will do it.
Snoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever got Snoop to co-anchor the whole thing,
Genius.
is brilliant.
Genius.
That was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people of all time.
He's so
too.
funny.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Doing that. What's
Okay,
ever?
never have ever. So this is good for you because you travel a lot.
Okay.
Travel a lot.
Never has Tebey ever shown up at the wrong airport for a flight.
I have not. Sorry.
boring.
Wow, that's boring.
Want to pick a different one? Or?
That's pretty boring.
I have shown up at the wrong time when it said 1 o'clock and it was 1 a.m. because I forgot that when you travel, a lot of the times they'll use the international 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
So I showed up at the wrong time and I was like in Peru. So it wasn't even like I was in the States at an American airport. I was like in Peru.
I want to go to Peru with you too.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Went to Machu Picchu.
Machu
Yes,
Picchu.
how was that?
It's old
It's on my bucket list.
and in the middle of nowhere.
It's a hike, huh?
I mean, you fly into Lima, Peru, and then you hop another flight to a place called Cusco, which is like 2 hours.
Cusco.
And then you get on a train for like 3.5 hours, and you're literally just going straight into the Amazon.
Yeah, I'm out.
Like you're in the jungle. There's nothing.
Except big spiders and cats that want to eat me.
It's
I'm out.
crazy.
I'm out.
And then it opens up, and you're in this place, and then you have to take the buses up to the top to get up there, which takes like 45 minutes. And like there's no guardrails on the roads.
No.
So it's just
I'm out.
No,
It's
I really
terrible.
wanted to go until you said that.
Heights, huge snakes, big spiders, and angry cats.
I've seen those videos of those buses and the people who drive the buses very badly going up those roads with no guardrails.
Or do they drive
and they're
them
only
well?
like one car wide and there's people passing each other.
It's bad.
No.
But you
That's
never
a big
hear of like
no.
any accidents, though. It's very strange.
Because they don't report it to
Yeah.
you.
That's, yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we walked down because we were so. Well, maybe my wife would have done it, but I was so scared that I would not
Not a
take.
chance.
I wouldn't take it back. I literally walked down from Machu Picchu, which takes several hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't
'Cause I
doing
wouldn't
that
do it.
either. You know why? Because there's big spiders and cats that want to eat me. Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right. This one, I like this one because when I first met you, I met you through Brian Davis, who was your former neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to go over to Brian's a lot. And every now and then we would all hang
We
out.
would have a part. Yeah,
and we would get pretty much blackout crazy.
That's
we would do
fun.
a lot of weird things,
Yeah.
right?
not too weird, but yeah.
Like,
Yeah. one time Tebey pulled out a gun. That was fun.
what?
Did I?
Yeah.
Canadians can't own
Did I?
There's
guns.
a picture of it somewhere.
Probably. Okay.
I
There
think
you go.
we were in your kitchen. And
I don't know what I
You
did.
had like a pistol and
Was that?
like, hey, you want to see something cool?
That's real responsible.
Yeah, right.
Half bottle,
Hey, guys.
half bottle of Jack that's already drunk sitting beside me. You guys seen this one?
So never has Tebey ever been drawn on while passed out from drinking.
I have not, but I've done it to other people.
There you go.
On the road, on
Yeah.
a tour bus.
I'm sure they deserved it.
Well, I mean, they were just passed out. If you pass out in the front lounge,
You're
That's
screwed.
kind of like one of the rules of the road. You just
Yeah.
get something bad's going to happen
You're
to
screwed.
you. Something. So yeah.
We had a bass player that always do that, and Brandon Talby was his name. And I've got video of this, but he just went to sleep in front lounge, and we're all up there just hanging out, and we were like, all right, fuck it. So we had the bus driver lock up the brakes, and we all start screaming at the same time.
Oh my.
And bro, we have a still shot of his face, and I've never seen terror ever personified.
Like this is the moment. It's all.
he
It's
was
gone.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
dead
done
right now.
Yeah.
But it was
amazing.
great. Yeah.
I love it.
It's good times. We really love each other on the road. Yeah.
You create a family out there. I mean, even if you're out there with people you don't really like, you become family after a while. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're all stuck in this like traveling tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love you or hate you. And what are we gonna do now, Colt?
Now we have the bottle of shame,
Okay.
the new name for it.
The bottle of shame.
Have you ever done smelling salts before?
Of course you
No.
played foot. You what?
No, I didn't. I've never done them. I've never done. I might maybe,
Oh.
but I don't remember.
That's what a lot of people were like.
probably,
last time I
but-
did smelling salts, I was playing football and got knocked out, so they're not quite sure if they remember doing it or not.
Yeah.
Well, what we have here today with us is a bottle of Atomic Rhino smelling salts.
Okay.
And this is our Twangtown initiation.
Yep.
Everybody's done it. Nobody's died. Nobody's puked.
All right.
No one's
Yep.
passed out. It's perfectly safe. We've
Some
all
people
done
are
it.
fine with it.
Yeah. Some people sniff it and they're just like,
Give me more.
what's the big deal?
So what? I know they use it in sports and like I see it in hockey a lot.
Yeah.
But what?
And this
what
is also very popular in like heavy weightlifting. So like if you're like a bodybuilder and you're lifting really heavy weights, a lot of guys will get it, sniff it, and it just gets your adrenaline instantly flowing, and then they're just like, yeah, lift.
What's
lift,
in it?
lift. Ammonia.
It's called Let's Go.
It's
in
called
it.
LFG.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the lid off.
Yep.
And you're gonna take the bottle, hold it
Yep.
about right here, and go. And that's it.
That's all you gotta do.
You got me nervous, man, because like you didn't even tell me to put it close to my face, so it must be just right there, like this, and just smell it.
Sniff.
Oh, no.
That may be the best one so far.
Yo, that
You just won the gold, my friend.
man.
What does it smell like?
It kind of smells like you know those Vicks rub things that you can put in your nose when you're like stuffed up, but like times 20 or 30. That's strong.
Yeah.
Like that'll wake your ass up,
Dude, I've never. You went in hard. I went in like that.
I mean,
We both did it like that the first time.
yeah.
And we're like,
I didn't,
That's strong.
Didn't realize, and I was here. I was like, and my eyes just started hurting, and my head.
But it kind of dissipated now pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't linger.
It's like
it
wasabi.
doesn't linger. It's
I
just
feel
like,
like I have like that sinus stuff for you.
Yeah.
it's like getting punched in the face by Mike Tyson, and then it just stops hurting after 5 seconds.
So so if you get knocked out, is that what that's for?
Yep.
It can be.
Basically.
Or to just jack you up.
It's those things that crack and they put under your nose when you got knocked out and you see in the movies. And
I mean,
stuff.
just think if you're passed out and someone stuck that under your nose, you'd probably be like, you know.
You
Yeah.
definitely geek.
They should use that in like UFC. Because I was watching some UFC earlier today, just on reruns, and like this guy got knocked out cold, and like it took him like 4 minutes, 5 minutes to wake up. It was bad.
All you
that
need
shit would
is
wake
the
him up.
atomic rhino, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shit.
maybe it's illegal to do that in like UFC or whatever. But I don't know.
Dude,
Might be.
thank you for coming on here.
Thank you guys, man. This is fun.
It's been badass. It's
This
good
is like
to see you again.
This is great.
Big fan of your talent, man. I've always thought you're
Stay in the grind. That's all we can do, man.
amazing artist, writer.
Just got to show up.
You need to be here. You need to stay with us.
Still here after all these years.
Yeah. Colt,
David?
tell them where they can find us.
Yes. We are available on all streaming platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like, rate, subscribe, share, follow,
All the above.
all the things.
Follow.
That's it.
Follow, hollow.
Dude, thank you so much for
swallow.
coming
Thanks for having
on.
me, man.
Yeah, thanks,
Being a
brother.
part of this and volunteering to come on.
Yeah, come back anytime.
You should on this wheel here. You guys should, if you have another Canadian, you should have like because you got like America. You got
Yeah.
one of those. You should have like a Canada
Canada?
or some kind of Canadian.
Canada.
Just something.
Yeah.
Test people's knowledge.
Canadian knowledge.
I don't know if anybody would know anything about. I know Justin Trudeau is your prime minister right now.
Bro, don't even get me started.
Where are you at on your citizenship?
Oh, I've been a U.S. citizen for like 15, 20 years now, man.
Like official?
Yeah, that's one of the. I know we're kind of done
You
with
are
this, but
kicking Jason Blaine's ass.
you know what, man? When I got my record deal, when I was 17 years old, and I signed with BMG. This is back in the day. I don't know if they still do this, but they gave out like advances, kind of like a signing bonus.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I don't know if they still do that, but so I took, or I guess my attorney took half of that money and put it aside in like a green card fund.
Oh, smart.
Which was very, very smart.
brilliant.
Whoever was guiding me in that moment was very smart because within probably 5 years of moving to Nashville, I had gone through the green card process and then eventually just got my citizenship in my early 20s. So I've been an
Nice.
American for a real long time.
Hell yeah. So you've got your eagle.
Have
and-
you ever had fried bald eagle?
Yeah.
No.
I thought you ate it at your ceremony.
They made me eat something. I wasn't sure what it was.
Fried baldy. You drank the blood of Ronald Reagan. and
okay,
ate
yeah.
the fried baldy.
I thought it was Jimmy Carter, but that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, well,
How was your American history knowledge?
You know what? Pretty good. I mean, back in Canada, we learn a lot about. I think we learn more about the states than Canada learns about than the Americans learn about Canadians.
For sure.
In school?
Yeah, we don't learn anything about Canada.
So yeah, I'd say it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
I know nothing, but anyway.
We got beavers and this thing called poutine. You ever heard of that?
I love poutine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never understood why that didn't catch on down here. Because if you think about it,
In the northern states.
but it's gravy on fries with cheese.
Yeah.
That to me sounds American in itself.
yeah.
Well, especially Southern. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They have it over at, what you call it, Bottle Cap.
It's the name.
Yeah.
It's the name is what turns people
It's
off.
the French.
It's a French name, but if you say poutine, it sounds
like
it sounds like
Yeah, we
that.
don't
It
like
sounds
sounds,
like something
yeah.
else. It's kind of could be dirty.
Yeah,
So,
poutine.
It needs another name.
Yeah.
It needs a new name. If someone could rebrand it, I just think it'd be
basically
huge.
cheese fries with gravy.
Yeah, but it has to be brown
Curds.
gravy. It can't
Brown
be the
gravy.
white.
No, it can't
white
be the white
gravy.
gravy.
Ain't gonna fly.
Gotta be the brown gravy. I don't know. Anyway.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
for coming on, buddy.
Thanks, David.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.